This is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
Good evening everyone and welcome to Southern Cross News. Tasmania's housing crisis is escalating tonight with a group of people sleeping in tents at Berrydale set to be evicted from their temporary home. The Glenorchy City Council has given them a notice to vacate in the interests of public safety, but the campers say they have nowhere else to go.
It's a humble abode, but it's one Michael calls home.
Roasts on here. That's how much we've had rain. Look.
He's one of 9 people who have spent the last 2 months living at this makeshift campsite on the edge of Hobart's Derwent River.
When it rains a lot, it gets a bit muddy here, so we drag a bit of mud into the tents, etc. But we try and, it's cases we have to kick along with it.
But the Glenorchy City Council will soon be forcing the group to move on, saying they are no longer welcome to live in the public reserve.
Our prime concern is for the safety of those particular individuals and the public that access that site for recreational purposes as well.
The group would like to find a rental property together, but their efforts have proven fruitless.
If we've got to move on, where we're going to go, because there's virtually nowhere else for us to go.
Look, obviously we liaise very closely with other service providers and community organisations in this situation.
Well, I think it's disgraceful on behalf of council. I mean, these people are desperate, clearly, but to just simply move them on is just simply shifting the problem somewhere else.
Scott Gadd runs the Hobart Showgrounds, which is also hosting campers who can't find a home.
And we had snow on the mountain yesterday and this morning, so what I've said all along is this is not the place to be in winter in a tent.
The government says it's on track to implement measures to address the housing crisis.
We are resourcing this problem. We've moved immediately to do that, and coming online will be around 170 new dwellings by the middle of this year.
It is the government's responsibility to ensure that Tasmanians have a safe place to call home, and they are failing badly on that responsibility.
For this group, for now, it's a situation of sit and hope for the best. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
2 Tasmanian men have been arrested and charged after a taxi driver was allegedly struck with a hammer during an incident near Launceston on Friday night. Police currently have an 18-year-old Rochalee man and a 21-year-old Mayfield man detained. They will appear before an out-of-hours court tonight. Both men were today charged with aggravated armed robbery and attempted aggravated armed robbery. The Hobart City Council has issued an apology after motorists were left stranded in a busy car park for up to 5 hours. While the latest traffic chaos was caused by roadworks and diversions, local businesses say it's part of a long-term problem that's costing them money.
This was the scene of frustration yesterday afternoon. Cars backed up with people waiting hours to leave one of Hobart's main car parks.
We do apologise sincerely for that. It hadn't been anticipated, but then again with our one-way road system and also being the school holidays, it surprised us.
The cause of this congestion, roadworks and closures surrounding the parking hotspot, creating a perfect storm of traffic chaos.
Hobart's traffic issues have been ongoing for a number of years. What we have been seeing time and time again is that any small change to the traffic, whether it's an accident, an event or a road closure, is causing significant traffic congestion throughout the cities.
As well as motorists and people using the nearby hospital or medical services, the Small Business Council says local businesses are also being hit.
Because they're being held up in significant traffic flow issues in Hobart at the moment, that makes it very frustrating for absolutely everybody and makes a significant cost on that business.
The state government is taking over 2 of Hobart's busiest streets, Macquarie and Davey Street, in a bid to combat CBD congestion.
The Hobart City Council is the manager of its own streets and has responsibility for ensuring that there is traffic flows that are going to accommodate those that want to travel into and through Hobart.
For now, the council is recommending people take public transport or use other car parking, but long-term traffic issues remain. Ruby Kamain, Southern Cross News.
Tasmania is starting to close the gap on its disability support worker shortage. 7 migrants today graduating from a 13-week intensive program aimed at training up new support workers.
The program was brought around due to the National Disability Insurance Scheme and St Giles identifying that we didn't have the workforce that we needed to meet the demand.
Launceston's Migrant Resource Centre partnered with St Giles to offer the course. Many graduates, like Mary, want to make a positive difference to people's lives.
When I came into Australia and I saw the way people living with disability were being treated, it's a far cry from what's happening back in my country, where they are just left, to themselves.
Today's graduates are the fourth group to finish the program. More than 70% of graduates now work at St Giles. High-density housing is being touted for the centre of Kingston as the real estate sector booms. Work is getting underway on the Kingston Park project, which includes a community hub and the possibility for other developments.
Breaking ground on the Kingston Park project, a ceremonial first dig marking the start of a major construction project for the town on the site of the old high school.
The gym building will become the central aspect of the project. It will be the open hall, the open space for the public. So we're commencing the demolition phase right now, and we're halfway through the earthworks phase.
A community hub will be the centre of the project, with part of the surrounding area set to be developed into commercial space. The council hopes this will become an employment hub for the region, with around 600 jobs.
If you look at the highway into Hobart of a morning and there's a bit of a traffic jam, and 60% of our workforce, that's those that are employed, that go to Hobart and beyond every morning.
The real estate boom and housing shortage has put a renewed focus on the need for residential development, with the project set to include high-density housing.
This will be an important land release here. This will be higher intensity housing. Again, that's what the community demand, that's what the community wants.
We're seeing the demand start to turn towards high-density residential projects. I think given that the land releases are happening in conjunction with some higher density living, we're starting to see upward trends of both areas.
The community hub is set to be completed early next year. Michael Green, Southern Cross News.
A Tasmanian dance show which opens to the public tomorrow night aims to give audience members an insight into social media and the effect it's having on our youth. 15 dancers are involved in Stompin's performance Mirror Mirror.
Mirror is a work that we kind of came up with 4 months ago with the dancers. It all comes from them, and they really wanted a chance to explore the idea of development of their identity, their relationship with themselves, their body image through this lens that is social media.
A purpose-built mirror room has been constructed inside Launceston's Door of Hope for the show. Mirror Mirror runs from tomorrow night until Sunday. School holidays have kicked off at the Tasmanian Museum and Art Gallery with the opening of the Children's Festival. The artistic event was created by kids for kids, with a group of children helping to set up a program of performances and activities.
The theme for this festival is Create, and I guess that's really about exploring within each child and also their parents and their guardians who are with them today what it means to be creative in a society today, and with all the inspiration of a museum and art gallery.
We help around the little kids and do the activities and just really wandering around the place and helping out.
The festival runs until this Sunday. Now let's take a look at the day's business and finance news with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. The Australian share market has closed almost flat, with early gains drifting away following the Reserve Bank's comments that the next interest rate movement will likely be up. The ASX 200 index rose slightly by 0.2 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 77.75 US cents and 105.87 New Zealand cents.
Defending Targa Tasmanian champions Jason and John White have extended their lead on day 2 of the Tarmac Rally. Competitors tackled 6 stages today, one Lamborghini ending up in a paddock.
This is Jason and John White's home turf, and the Dodge Viper pair used it to their full advantage, speeding through today's 6 northwest stages, setting the fastest time in each and extending their overall lead to 16 seconds. But not far behind, Matt Close is moving through the ranks. The former Tasmanian is now in second place, but only 4 seconds clear of South Australian Steve Glennie.
The competition's really tight at the top. We've had some runs through some stages where we thought that we were well and truly safe on winning the stage, and then found out that we've had time taken out of us, and I think those guys are the same. So it's just interesting how the different cars and teams work.
It wasn't smooth cruising for all though. An Indonesian couple in this Lamborghini came in too hot to this corner, ploughing straight into a cow paddock. The car received minor damage and is now good to race again tomorrow. In the classic GT competition, Mick Bray breezed through to first after Queenslander John Siddons copped a 30-second penalty last night. Siddons is now second. The Targa Tasmania field of 285 take on another 6 stages tomorrow. They start with the sidling, then progress to the East Coast. Anika Dadson at Southern Cross News.
In the TSL, Launceston star forward Mitch Thorpe is crediting a strong midfield for his early leading goal kicker status. The Blues will rest easy this weekend with a bye following a resounding win over Lauderdale. It was a dominating midfield helping secure the Blues' victory over Lauderdale.
Played a lot of footy at Lauderdale and haven't won a game there, so even when I was at South London we were pretty successful. We didn't beat them, so first win at Lauderdale was nice.
A midfield Mitch Thorpe is crediting for his strong performance in the forward line. Stepping back from coaching for 12 months, Thorpe is now leading goal kicker with 12 goals ending round 3, the early front-runner for the Peter Hudson medal.
Pretty handy when you've got Jay Blackberry, Joby Harper, Dylan Riley, pretty strong midfield, so pretty easy as a forward sometimes when they're hitting you up.
The Blues' 62-point win lining up Launceston as solid premiership contenders. Now sitting third on the ladder, Thorpe isn't buying into the Magpies' upset win over the reigning premiers.
I think we're all chasing North Launceston. They're the yardstick. We came up a bit short round 1. We've bounced back relatively well since then.
Resting easy now with a bye for round 4. Eyes on top of the ladder, Glenorchy taking on North Hobart at KG5 on Friday. Players returning from the tribunal with all 4 reports dismissed. A blistering sprint on the bike saw Tasmanian triathlete Cameron Werth set an impressive pace at the African Ironman Championships.
Look how beautifully he looks on the bike. On the bike, I guess if I know I'm one of the stronger riders and I'm having a great day, then if someone else is doing something, they're probably going way too hard.
Fellow Aussie Josh Amberger was first out of the swim before Werth blasted his way from 14th to lead the pack on the bike, building to a solid 7-minute lead. But defending home champion Kyle Buckingham was too good in the run, Amberger taking the silver, with Werth just missing out on a podium finish in 4th.
Good evening. Hobart and Burnie, 16 today. Launceston was our top with 18 degrees and Devonport 17. Overcast over the west and south, but sunny over the north and east. A touch of snow on the peaks and an overnight low of -3 on Mount Wellington kicked off the day. St Helens 17, Flinders Island, Low Head and Friendly Beaches 16. Strawn and Smithton 15, King Island and Grove 14 today, and Ooze 13 degrees. Low level cloud today, mainly over the west and far south. A few smoke plumes evident over the north. On the big picture, a bit of cloud there over the Bight, and further south a mid-level cloud band spirals into a low well to the east. A bit more is over eastern Western Australia. Tomorrow a high positions just off Sydney, extending its dominance over a wide area. Inland troughs are over WA and Queensland, and a cold front moves towards the Bight to complete the picture. The wind's dropping off tomorrow, thank goodness, northwesterly in direction at 5 to 15 knots, a bit stronger over southern waters, light and variable winds inland, great for driving cars around the state. Mostly sunny in Hobart, 18 the top, 17 for Kingston, sunny for Bothwell and 16 degrees. Launceston, expect a mostly sunny day and 17 also for Cressy and mostly sunny for Devonport, 16 the high. Burnie partly cloudy but fine, 16 for Strawn as well. Curry partly cloudy, 17. And for the east, St Helens partly cloudy, 18. A sunny day for Swansea and 18 the top for Orford. On Thursday, fine and partly cloudy, the chance of a shower over the west. That weather pattern will continue into Friday with plenty of sunshine, no wet stuff, and a fine start to Saturday. Then the showers start to develop over the west in the afternoon, spreading across the state later. A shower clearing from Perth tomorrow, fine but cloudy over Adelaide and Sydney. Sunny weather for Melbourne and Canberra. A shower and 26 for Brisbane. Mostly clear conditions at the moment. Hobart 11 degrees, along with Launceston. Devonport currently 9. Joe, I'm a bit confused. First it was just dropping a bit of lemon in your water, then it was herbal tea, then red wine was great for you, coffee tonight, and the whole world's turning upside down. Bubbles is taking over from beer. What are you telling me?
Well, I'm telling you, Murph, that the stereotypical Aussie might be synonymous with holding a stubby, just like you, but sales of champagne and fine wines are rising faster than beer. Consumption of French bubbles jumped 16% in a year to more than 8.5 million bottles. And sales of cask wine are also falling as Australian taste buds become more sophisticated. You have to start drinking like your wife, Murph. That's all from the news team for now. Thanks for your company. Good night.